Okay. Hello, everyone. We've got three devices going, so wherever you're watching this, whether it's live or later on, please forgive any commentary to one device or the other. So today we're doing our restorative, which will be much heavily towards restorative. I'm Mandy, if you don't know me, and this is my friend Bindi and Theo, my lovely neighbors in Good Foots. We're going to play beautiful music for you today live, which is so great. So if you can make sure that you have some pillows, blocks, books, blocks, a strap of some sort. So like it could be a scarf or a really long sock or something. That would be great too. Blanket is really nice and restorative as well if you can have that. Okay. So if you can take one of your cushions and sit on it, and you can be cross-legged like I am with one heel in front of the other, or you can have your feet in front, hands on your shins if that's nicer for your back. If you're dealing with any sensitivities today, please modify as much as you need and be very gentle to yourself. Okay. Palms can face up or down on your thighs, and we'll just sit up nice and tall. Just allow some centering before we move into this very deep inward state. Go ahead and close your eyes. And just take 3 big breaths into your belly, ribs, and chest. Allowing your shoulders to relax and release any weight or burden that you may have unknowingly be holding on them. Your tongue and jaw can soften, and the space between your eyebrows relaxes. Breathing some presence into yourself, into this moment, and how you're feeling today. If you've been overwhelmed or feeling really busy, pay particular attention to how your sit bones feel on the earth, the weight down and the weight up supporting you. If you feel like you've had some worry about the future, try to breathe towards the back of your heart and even shift your rib cage slightly back so the weight shifts towards the back end of your sit bones. Sankalpa, our intention for our practice today is to become really intimate with present moment experience. That means we let go of reminiscing on the past or jumping into the future of what ifs. And we allow ourselves to simply be as we are in this moment, in the comfort of these postures, in the safety of these postures. Let's take 3 breaths into that intention today. Let's open our eyes. We relax the shoulders if we need. And we're going to start with a real classic today, one of my favorites. If you are close to a wall, if you're not close to a wall, I'll show you the variation. If you're close to a wall, maybe you're laying in bed, we're going to put our feet up the wall. And what we can do is we can take our cushion or our pillow, put it close to the wall, and then kind of scoot ourselves onto our cushion and up the wall. Okay? Now, if we're maybe lying in bed or something like that, we may be just fine to move ourselves away from the wall, lift our feet up, and have a bit of an angle, kind of like my arm. My hand was at the wall, the elbow was your bum. You can do that too if your low back is really sensitive or you're working with anything today. So I'm going to move my cushion back a little bit, make it a little easier on myself. I'm going to lay down. I'm just going to put the feet on the wall. For some of us, our feet will be up quite vertical. I'm doing more of a variation here, where I'm more on angle. It's a lot gentler on the hamstrings and even all the way up to our neck because everything is connected. Okay, you're welcome to have your hands belly and heart, or maybe if you want full extension over our head. And this shouldn't feel any pain in the low back or the neck. I encourage you today to find a point of focus to keep our attention deeply present and inwards. So this could be just feeling your heart rise and fall and keeping attuned to that space. Or maybe we're looking at a point on the ceiling that we become quite fascinated with. And continue to hold that gaze. We're going to be here for a nice long start of 4 minutes. Take one last deep breath in. Maybe out through your mouth for your exhale. You can start to bend your knees, walking your feet down the wall a little bit, just taking our time to come out of this. Arms can come down if they're from overhead. Let's rock or roll to our left side, using our right hand to press us up towards seated. we'll shift into a child's pose. We're going to take our cushion or our pillows. 2 pillows is really nice here for child's pose. Knees can be wide. If your knees are really sensitive, I'll give an option for this if it's not going to fly today. You can also have a cushion under our bum that takes the pressure a little off of our knees. We'll put the cushion in between the knees, quite snug, and we'll lay our heart down onto our pillow. Arms can be beside you, and your gaze can go to one direction. I'll change you halfway through. And it's actually going to be right into our second posture day. It's a nice counter as well as a nice place to simply be. Okay? The option here, if the knees are not loving this right now, is we can do this on our back, laying down. It's a little bit less pressure on the hips. You can put a pillow under your knees. And we could bring the knees wide and the feet together. The feet are on your pillow. The other option, if you do really want to get a little bit into the low back and the back of the hips, this is also quite nice. Hands on the shins, weighing the knees down and wide, so it's not so much pressure on the back from gravity. And you can kind of hang here, even softly rock if you don't want to be completely still. Okay, this one's not as long of a hold, about 3 minutes. Okay, so choose your variation. Once you've found where you'd like to be, choose a focal point. So child's pose, it's quite nice to use the back of the heart, breathing in and out, kind of between the shoulder blades, nice focus space for your breath. You can also use your brow if your forehead is connected to a block, cushion, or the ground. That sensation of gravity pressing the skull towards the floor can be a good focal point as well. So choose your posture, choose your focal point, and try to stay committed to that inward wellness you're cultivating. Change the direction of your head, your gaze if you're in the first child's pose. back and the back of our heart. Softening the jaw and the tongue, the space between your eyebrows. Let's gently walk ourselves with our hands up towards seated. If you're on your back, just take your time to roll to one side and pause there. We can move our cushions to one side, bring our knees slowly together. And if you're on your back, you're going to come up towards seated. We're all going to meet with our feet in front of us. Bring your hands behind us, just gently. Lots of space between the heels and the feet. And just gently windshield wiper your legs back and forth. And this is meant to be soothing, so soft and gentle. Sometimes we don't know how deep the posture has allowed us to go or release. So it's best when we do our in between, our little rebounds, that we take a lot of gentleness and presence with that movement. Beautiful. Let's go ahead. We're going to come into one of our longer held postures, really beautiful twist. I'm going to do this towards the camera, makes it nice and easy to see. Okay, and you're going to stack both of your pillows one on top of the other. Now this one, because we can get quite squishy in our pillows, may do really well with a block under the top end. So this is the top end. It's away from my body. I'm going to lay down this direction. So I have my two pillows and my block under the top side. If you are really sensitive, maybe you've got something going on in the rib cage and the spine, you may want to have some height at the top end. Okay? The lower it is, the deeper the twist. The higher it is, the more gentle it's going to be for you. Okay? From the side, I'm going to lay on your right side. It might be flipped on Instagram. Some of the other modalities, you might actually see that I am on my right side. I'm going to sit onto our right hip and stack our knees. Place your right hand to the outside of your cushions, and you're going to get a little bit snug towards your pillows. Your head wants to still be on the pillows. You may have to adjust from there. I'm going to turn our heart to face the pillow and try to not allow the knees to slide at this point. Lay your heart down. Just adjust the little speaker here. Lay your heart down. Turn your gaze to the left. Lay your right ear down. And then we're going to maybe put a blanket or another cushion under our right arm to stop us from teetering. Okay, from this point we can adjust the knees. Maybe the left knee slides down and back a little bit, and then our left arm goes where it's comfortable and we relax into this. Shouldn't be any tension in the low back that was created by the posture. Just find the most amount of comfort you can. The last option would be to put another blanket or cushion between your knees if your hips are hurting a little bit or if you're needing to accommodate. Okay, this is going to be about a 6-minute hold. About a 6-minute hold. Take some deep breaths into the long side of your back. Focusing the rise and fall of your belly is a good focal point here. For places that are not just tense, but really discover the places that are spacious, light, and free. See both sides of the body in this way. You're welcome to change the direction of your head very gently and to place your left ear down. Give yourself at least 6 breaths to see how that adjusts in your neck, because it can be quite tense in the beginning if you're not used to it. And then use your breath to stay with that for about a minute more. And take 3 more deep breaths. The tongue and jaw relax. Some unconscious tension came through. Noticing places of freedom and spaciousness and softness. You may even feel a little more neutral compared to the other areas that are more apparent. Because we've been in this one for a really good amount of time, I ask that you use your hands to super slow-mo rise. Like your spirit animal is a sloth. Like painfully slow. So that your spine can adjust as you rise. Your 2 choices for your rebound are going to be child's pose with the pillows, like I have already set up. Maybe you can even take the block out if you want, or the book. Or you can lay on your back for Shavasana for a totally neutral spine. Okay? We're going to hold in this space for about 2 minutes, just to give the body a good amount of time to adjust from that very deep twist. Okay, so choose where you'd like to be, and then you can focus on breathing either to the belly or the back, depending if you're on your back, you're going to breathe to your belly. And if you're on your front in child's pose, you're going to breathe to your back. Just under 2 minutes. Realign your attention and focus on fully encompassing breath from belly to ribs to upper chest, and like a wave retracting to the ocean back down into your belly for your exhale. Wherever you had your little time between, let's do our other side, our other twist. So rise back up. I'll show you from the side this time. Same positioning, 2 cushions, maybe a block or a couple of books under the top end. Okay, we'll get our hips nice and close, knees stacked. We do want to make sure if we do have a longer torso that our face is still on our pillow, which means more space between our hip and our cushions. Here, we'll place our left hand to the outside of our cushions. We'll turn our heart to face down towards our pillows, and then we'll let our heart come nice and softly onto our cushions with our left ear down. We want to make sure we don't feel like we're teetering to the left, so an extra cushion or blanket or block under our left forearm will kind of keep us in place very gently. Okay, we're welcome to play with how high or low our shoulders are, and we can keep the knees stacked, a cushion in between, or we can slide our right leg back a little bit. Find the most comfortable spot for you, and then realign your focus once again, our drishti, our inner gaze. Perhaps it's our mid-upper back, or feeling a twist there, or our lower side of our right belly. Being aware of not just the places that have apparent sensation, but even the places that are gentle and neutral. We'll be here for about 6 to 7 minutes. Turn your head to the left and place your right ear down. We can do this. We take at least 6 breaths when we get there to let the body adjust to the sensation. We use our breath to consciously soften and release the throat and the neck. If we have a little bit more of a fuss, we would put a pillow, another pillow under our chest or a blanket to give us more space for our throat and the turn of our neck. If we have any neck injuries, we might just skip doing this today. Be here for about another minute, minute and a half. Turn your head back to center for your last 3 breaths, softening the shoulders, the throat, and the jaw. And then just like I requested in the last side, if your spirit animal is a sloth and you move almost painfully slow, to unwind the spine and choose your child's pose, seated, or Shavasana laying on your back. We could have support under our knees for our Shavasana if we wish. Please take the next 30 seconds or more to adjust into the pose, the in-between pose, and we'll be there for about 2 minutes again to allow the spine to adjust, any shifting in the digestive system, viscera. I encourage you that once you adjust, we can sometimes need to refocus on our Drishti, that focal point in breath. As the body adjusts, also the emotions are adjusting, the mental chatter is adjusting. So to keep ourselves funneled to this present experience, we use the consistency, the feeling of our breath, and something within ourselves to focus upon. So maybe it's the back of the heart if you're in child's pose, or the rib cage widening and collapsing on your breath, or it's your Shavasana, could be the rise and fall of your belly. Deep breath into your belly, moving it up towards your throat like a wave coming in, and out, the wave retracting back into the ocean. Go ahead and rise from whatever position you're in. And we'll come in a little bit more of a yin style posture, which I'll give an option that is much more restorative, so a little bit softer variation. But we're really working a lot with our low back and our sense of safety here. So you can bring your legs nice and wide. And even today, I feel like a little bit of resistance in sitting wide. You might be able to see I'm scrunching. So I'm going to take my cushion. And I'll do this one from the side. It might be a little easier for you to see. I'm going to put it under my bum. And just tips my pelvis forward a little bit. And bring the legs out wide. For some of us, this is going to be a nice spot to be, and we'll stay here. Others, we can take our cushion, put it on the front of our heart, and fold forward. Okay, this may require a couple cushions to do this, or our forearms, for example. Let me just reach my other one here. Okay, and that just gives a little more comfort. I like doing something like this, so my armpits are in my pillows. Got another pillow underneath, it's a little bit on my thighs, and then it gives this extra cushiony experience where I can let my head go. So this can be quite lovely. Okay. The other option, if that's just not going to fly for you today, is feet together, cushions under your knees. And maybe we fold forward from here. And the last variation, because every body is so different, is you can do exactly what I'm doing now, except for no pillow under your bum and you lay down. So support under your knees and you're laying on your back. Okay? So choose one of those three options, either legs wide, cushions under you folding forward, knees together folding forward like this, or laying on your back with the cushions under your knees. Okay? We'll be here for not as long, maybe three minutes or so. You wandered off the far distance of your mind. Put yourself back for that last filling breath before we shift out. If you're folded forward, just like in our twist, we're going to give our low back a lot of space to move out of this by using our hands to gently walk ourselves up. We're going to stay tall and seated, legs wide still. And if you're on your back, you'll bring your knees together, feet on the floor, and you'll focus on feeling the roots of your feet connect to the floor beneath you. And just hold there for a moment with a tall spine when you get there. If you're seated, or feeling the feet on the floor if you're laying down. Recognizing a little reflection of how you're feeling, just in the physical body, but in your emotional and mental state as well. If you're laying down, you're going to stay there. If not, you're going to take yourself to lay down onto your mat, making sure your cushions are nice and close to you. We're going to take our cushions, one or two, it depends on how thick your pillows are, and stack them. And then you can either, for some of us in our low backs, we'll put our calves on our cushion. So I'm still a little farther, my calves on the cushion, and lay down. Okay, and then you can kind of adjust from there with a blanket under your head or any other comforts you want. The other option is to have it under your knees, quite a bit under your knees, and then lay down from there. And this is going to be our final Shavasana position, so you want as much comfort as possible. So that's why a little rolled something under your head, like a blanket, can be quite lovely, or one or two pillows under your knees. And so find your positioning that works for you. Stay seated for this one to guide you. Okay, and as we lay here, we're going to start with some soft guitar from my lovely friends over here. And I'm just going to give you a little guidance through some breath work. I would encourage one hand on the heart and one hand on the belly, especially for this particular breath work. It can be really helpful to have that tactile sensation of the physical hands touching the physical body. Start to focus your depth of your breath as deep down towards the pelvic bowl as you can. So right down through the inner line of your thighs and the lower part of your belly. Just trying to do these little tiny belly breaths, filling as deeply as you can. Not so concerned about the upper chest at the moment. Deep sense of grounding and safety and feeling at home within yourself when we breathe this deeply into the pelvic bowl. You might even be able to start to equalize our breath. So our inhale and exhale match in length to one another. That's a new thing for you. You can alternatively try and do 3 in, 3 out, or 4 in, 4 out for your breathing. Breathing again down deep in the lower belly. Let's take that deep belly inhale and start to move it a little up towards our ribs. Feel like the ribs expand after the belly expands. And then when you exhale, you'll feel the ribs narrow first and then the belly collapse. So breathing into the belly, then the ribs would expand, and then ribs narrow, belly softens down. As we breathe into our belly on the inhale and feel the ribs expand, let's feel the chest lift slightly with the breath, and then the collarbones fill with air. And on our exhale, like that wave, we're tracking back to the ocean, collarbones fall, chest softens, ribs narrow, and belly retracts. It's a nice 3-part breath: belly, ribs, chest to collarbones, chest to collarbones and chest, ribs narrow, and then belly. And not just feeling this through the front of your body, but starting to experience what that's like filling up through the back of the body. Please keep working with this wave-like breath as we take our 2 minutes in our last song here. Let's do our last big wave of breath, feeling the inhale to the belly, ribs, chest, and collarbones. And then a soft sigh out through your mouth, releasing the wave back out. Please know that you're welcome to stay here as long as you'd like. I have a few things to share with you, and you're welcome to just simply stay as you are, feeling that breath while you kind of hear me in the background. I want to say a huge thank you and gratitude to my friends Bindi and Theo for being here today. If you are interested in knowing more about them or hearing about them and what they do in the work in the world and in Bali, Bindi's handle is Bindi Yogini, and then Theo, I believe it's Theo. It's your last name, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can find me through Bindi.
You can find him through Bindi. Maybe look up Theo and then B, I think. That's the one. If you would like to donate for this class, you certainly don't have to, especially since we're trying to keep our community open and free and connected. However, if you have the ability to support the community in a different way, you can email Krista, our beautiful fearless leader, any donation of your choice at info@modoyogastratford.com. The password, one word, Modo Yoga. Doesn't matter what the question is. So we can keep our community doing what it's doing. If you would like to join me for some next classes, next week's schedule isn't quite out yet, but I'm sure we'll do this again. I am running a full moon workshop next week. This one is by donation. It's with another beautiful small studio in Hanover called Yoga Barn. I'll be doing that on Thursday, the 7th, which is the full moon, right on the full moon, at 7:30 p.m. Sorry. Sometimes I get text messages. At 7:30 p.m. and it's going to be on a Zoom call. So you'll have to go to Me Yoga KW. That's my handle, Me Yoga KW, to my link in my main page, and the sign up is there for you. And the donations are done through a separate channel. You'll just contact me once you've signed up at mandyelizabethyoga@gmail.com. So I hope to see you guys there, and I hope to see you guys next time. So thank you so much for joining us today. Have a beautiful sleep.